College campus rape is an alarmingly prevalent issue in America's schools, and an unfaced one at that. The larger and more unsettling problem, however, is that these revered foundations' administration staff blame these rapes on the victims and convince them to not file any charges. The rapists, the criminals, get away scot-free, and the victims are left oppressed, with their horrible memories antagonizing their mind and their soul. Lady Gaga's PSA in the form of a ballad, Till It Happens to You, directly addresses these growing issues through touching lyrics and unsettling, horrifying images in the coordinating music video. The video begins with a harrowing image of a faceless woman stumbling down an empty hallway. The hallway is desolate, which is just how she feels. She is alone with no one to turn to. After all, those figures of authority that are supposed to have helped her just turned her away and abandoned her. The figure turns a doorway and looks in on the first of many unsettling scenes. A woman shoved against a wall with a disgusting brute ravaging her body and ruining her mind. The scene shifts to a communal bathroom, a presumably transgender or gay woman getting ready, and a man approaching her. She brushes him off, but he doesn't stop. He violently subdues her against the counter and continues to rape and sodomize her. Next, it depicts two women at a party, their drinks spiked with date rape, and a seedy man leading them out of the crowd and into his dormitory. He rapes one, unconscious on the bed. She awakens and pushes the savage off of her, and helps her friend, putting her undergarments on her, guiding her out of that hell. All of these victims and rapists are in stark contrast with one another. Contrary to common presumption, there is no typical rapist, no typical victim, and no typical venue. These serial predators are omnipresent and have no problem victimizing and dehumanizing person after person to satiate their sickening desires. These victims are left to sit in their rooms alone. The chorus of the song reprimands, "Till it happens to you, you won't know how it feels, and you won't know it won't be real." They pushed their friends and family away because they were pushed away by the people who can actually use their power for good. The victims experience PTSD as seen when the woman writhes against her bedroom wall, even though her attacker is no longer there. He is gone, but her fears live on. It is not until these women are shown that life goes on, that their friends are still there for them, that they can come to terms with the fact that they were raped. What colleges do by undermining these victims is prolong the period of turmoil and self-hatred experienced by them. If college administrators were to confront the issue that has gone on for far too long and kept under the rug, thousands of women and men would not only be able to move on from their abuse more quickly, but thousands would not be abused in the first place. The victims can confront their fears and move on with their loved ones, but the issue of colleges allowing this to persist lives on. In the closing scene of the video, the victims and their friends march with bravery out into the previously deserted black and white hallway, and they have moved on. The video is shot in black and white to show that the light, the happiness, was stripped from these victims' lives. But instead of turning into color when they march into the hallway, it stays colorless, because once the crowd clears, the same faceless, dehumanized figure looms in the background. As long as the administrative staffs of colleges are allowed to continue these diseased ways, they will, all for the sake of the school's reputation. The looming figure inspires the viewer to expose the horrors taking place on our college campuses. If nothing changes, if none of the listeners work toward change, 1 in 5 females in college will be raped this year, and the next. These institutions are so revered that they have been allowed to commit these atrocities for years on end. The only way to bring an end to this is to expose these ways and make change through our actions.